Arizona has some incredible off-road trails, but a few have a name quite unique like this one. Welcome to Bloody Basin Trail. This is a 36-mile trail that cuts through Agua Fria National Monument and the Tonto National Forest. It's about 40 miles north of Phoenix, so it's not too far from the city. It's really interesting how this trail got its name. There was a battle in 1800s. I think it's called Battle of Tourette Peak, and about 26 people were dead, and there was a lot of bloodshed, and that's how this trail got its name. Today, though, it's one of the most scenic drive in the state. There's rocky shelf road, river crossing, ancient ruins, wildlife, and some absolutely breathtaking views. Let's get into it. So my first stop on this trail was some ancient ruins. It's called Pueblo la Plata, and it's a prehistoric settlement that dates back around 1250 80, so about 750 years ago. The site is protected as part of the Agua Fria National Monument. It's managed by BLM, and it's free to visit. There's no permit needed. The only thing you need is maybe a high clearance vehicle and definitely a sense of adventure. So just imagine an apartment building 750 years ago that had 80 to 100 rooms and more than 3,000 people possibly lived there. And you can still see the resemblance of rooms and you can find some pottery stuff over there. So you can kind of really see that people lived there. So I would highly recommend that if you're on this trail, then you come and visit Pueblo la Plata. It is it's quite an experience. It's not just something remote; it's historical. I mean, you can see the presence of life all that long ago, and it's not a very heavy tourist type area either. Most likely you might be the only one, so that makes it even more amazing. So yes, absolutely highly recommend this place. Soon after, once I left the National Monument, I came across my first challenge. Things got a little spicy here. There had been some heavy rain in the days leading up to this run, and once I got to the Wash Crossing, I mean, normally I would imagine it's pretty tame, but the water was flowing nice and swift over there. It wasn't dangerous, but it was kind of nice. I was able to dip my toes and just kind of explore the area, take pictures and videos. As I was kind of getting through it, I did get stuck a couple of times, and I had to use some problem-solving skills to figure out how to get out, and that's part of the fun.
So I've hit a couple of roadblocks. With all the rain and flooding, it looks like some of the pathways are blocked. Here, let me show you guys this thing. Sweet, made it through.
The middle section of this trail is where Bloody Basin really opens up. There's like dramatic desert terrain and honestly some of the most beautiful scenery I've seen on the trail. It also gets pretty challenging and it gets really rough in some of the parts. So you have to go slow and you have to watch where you're going. You know, it was this trail on this trip that I came across something that I didn't know what it was, and nothing that I would expect to see on the trail. So I saw something that looked like a lizard, and I wasn't sure what that is. And later on, I found out that it was a Gila monster, and it is the only venomous lizard native to the United States. So it's pretty unique to see something like that. Like I looked this up, and 90% of their lives they live underground. So it's rare to sight them, and you know I feel now, back then I didn't know it. I thought it was just some lizard, but it's absolutely amazing, and I just feel very fortunate to have seen that in action on the trail. As the sun was getting ready to set, I finally came to the finish point of the trail, which is a sheep bridge, and it was very serene. I mean, there was Verde River flowing underneath it, and there was mountains, and sun was setting, and it was pretty quiet when I was there, and it was just the perfect thing I needed after a long day of a hard trail. So it's interesting. The sheep bridge was constructed in 1943, and it was there so the sheep herders can safely move their flocks across the river. Apparently, they used to lose a lot of their livestock to the river, and it was dangerous and costly. So this bridge played a big role. But when you come to the bridge, it's so well intact that you would think that it's currently in use. What an adventure! I absolutely loved my time on this trail. It is a tough trail, a long trail. So not taking that away, but being able to see a historical site, um, being able to see some exotic animals and some amazing landmarks and mountains and the river. It had everything. I wish I had the ability to spend the night, be able to camp over there. I think that would be ideal. So you don't have to rush back and drive 36 miles out. But outside of that, what an amazing experience! And I hope I'm able to come back and spend the night and really take in the serenity and the sunset.